Gas prices slowly dropping instead of skyrocketing. Take a look at this right here. Today's average price per gallon, $4.70, according to GasBuddy, a significant cool-off from the record $5 high last month. States like South Carolina and Georgia, they're seeing the lowest average prices around $4.23. Lucky duckies. So what's behind the drop? And dare we ask, how much lower can it go? Newsy economics correspondent Bianca Fashimi has some answers for us tonight. Bianca?
It's a sight for sore eyes at gas stations across the country. The numbers at the pump are a little easier to stomach these days as gas prices continue their weeks-long decline.
Knowing all the stuff that's been going around in the world, any savings is a blessing.
On average, the cost of a gallon of unleaded gas has dropped 1 or 2 cents every few days for about 3 weeks. And those pennies are adding up. Prices are down about 6% since their all-time high back in June. Why? According to AAA, the drop is largely thanks to a dip in oil prices and lower demand at the pump. Data showed fewer people fueling up in the final weeks of June, but that lull might be short-lived. AAA says July is typically the month with the highest demand, as most Americans hit the road in the summertime.
I'm the type of person that if I want to do something, I'm going to do something. I mean, gas has been high, but what can we do?
Some analysts are hopeful prices will keep inching down as the summer wears on. GasBuddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says if oil prices stay down, the national average could hit $4 per gallon by mid-August. Many drivers are more skeptical.
When I see it go past 50, and I see it keep going up and up, I'm just like, man, this is not okay.
Now, the Fed is likely to continue raising interest rates to cut into these price increases. This Fed Chair Jerome Powell believes the higher food and gas prices go, the harder it'll be to avoid a recession. Chance?
With us again tonight is the go-to gas expert himself, Patrick DeHaan. He's head of petroleum analysis for GasBuddy. Patrick, good to see you again. So you were here a few weeks ago and you told me, wait a moment, if you do not have to fill up right now, prices are going to go down. Everyone else was kind of saying the opposite. They went down. You think that's going to continue?
I think maybe for another week or two, but things could come to an abrupt end if there's any reversal or major hurricane. But for now, Americans are spending over $100 million less on gasoline every day than we were just over 3 weeks ago.
By the way, why are oil prices falling?
Well, certainly in the last few weeks, ever since the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by the largest amount in decades, some 75 basis points, concerns have been growing of an economic slowdown, and an economic slowdown would certainly throttle back oil consumption. So oil prices have been moderating in recent weeks as the risk of recession has gone up and amidst a strong U.S. dollar.
Okay. Speaking of oil, when President Biden visits Saudi Arabia, he's going to do something that's controversial. He's meeting with MBS, the Crown Prince, who he said was going to be a pariah, but we need their oil. After that meeting, will their output help us in a real way?
Well, it depends on the outcome of the meeting. I'm going to be reading into the tone of the Crown Prince, of President Biden, to see exactly what's happened. I think the relationship has been frayed a bit because of the allegations, and we'll see if there's any positive improvement there. Now, Saudi Arabia is one of the few countries that does have some amount of reserve capacity. I think you could argue about how much it is, whether it's sizable, could it help the U.S.? I think there is something there, but it may not be the holy grail to offset Russia's war in Ukraine and the impacts to oil production from Russia.
There was this really now famous tweet from President Biden saying ahead of the holiday weekend, like, gas stations, I'm going to paraphrase, don't be greedy, let people buy gas for the price you're paying for it. And some people cheered him, some people pilloried him. What's your thought on all that?
Well, I think it was a bit of noise. Gas prices work as they always have. This is nothing new, that when prices finally go down after a period of tremendous increases, stations are trying to recapture margin that they lost when prices were going up. That's a huge myth that Americans have. When prices go up, stations are squeezed. They hate rising prices. When they start doing better is when prices go down. And so stations are basically kind of riding the wave and hoping to soak up some of that additional margin that they really haven't gotten for much of this year because of the constantly increasing prices.
Really? So when people are saying they're fat cats because of the gas prices, what, they're making more profit off of, like, the Slurpees and the Cheetos?
Oh, by far. The margins on gasoline are razor thin, maybe a couple percentage points during normal times. So gas stations, the selling of gasoline has been cutthroat, but they use a lower price of gasoline to get people through the front doors, where, as you mentioned, the margins are much, much higher.
Okay. Bottom line, Patrick, is the worst behind us or maybe ahead of us?
Well, that's a $1 million question. It really depends on Mother Nature and if we get any disruptions. I'd like to think that barring a major hurricane this summer, we may be out of the woods. But again, it's supposed to be an above average hurricane season, so our odds are not great when it comes to being able to dodge a major storm.
Okay. Last time you said pause before I fill up. Now it sounds like go ahead and fill up. We don't know exactly what's coming. Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis for GasBuddy. Once again, so helpful. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.